Hello, everyone, and welcome to this new event, Podcast on Air Sound Design. Just as a quick reminder and housekeeping, this new session is part of a series of works. We've already had our wonderful writing and script editing sessions that gave us the script that we're going to be working on. We then had our directing and obviously the recording aspects of the session as well. And we're here. Welcome to the sound design and essentially post production of what's gonna be our episode. So, since we're here in the sound design and post production phase, what does that mean for us? Well, we already have a finished and revised script. We do have the recordings for the VAs. We have some notes for the from our director. So we just need to put it all together and make the world where the entire episode is gonna live at. But for all that, introductions. Hi, I'm José Machado, he, him. Why should you listen to me? Why is this random person talking to you? I have a degree in digital game design, where it was a very large scope degree essentially, and I discovered my passion for audio, and so I went into eventually masters for arts and technologies of sounds. I've been working on audio stuff, mostly audio design, but also a couple of like tech art placements and stuff for around 10 years. It's almost coming. My work anniversaries. Woo! And most recently, I've been essentially trying to soft launch my audio studio of Broken Weaver Audio. You can find me around the internets. But most importantly, for what we're doing today, I worked in audio dramas and podcasts. I've been wondering, the thing you probably know me better from is Wonder Journal and the upcoming series, The Machado Engine. We're very excited to bring it to you. But also in other podcast related stuff, I've worked on A Pixel at a Time and Cardamom and Chili. Those are also available for you to listen wherever you get your podcasts. And also a lot of other projects that are just not listed here or are still in development. So you might hear more from me soon. Who knows? Hopefully. So, again, we need to put it all together. We need to make the world where it lives at. Why do I say this? I say this because, as a quick reminder, nothing exists if we don't create it. In a digital world, only the things that we place there exist. As a very important mention of this, as a thing that we have to think about relating to this, we don't really have silence. Like in our world, when we're existing, silence isn't really a concept that exists. If we stay quiet for a couple of seconds, and I swear the stream didn't crash, it's okay, I'm just gonna be quiet, I would invite you to just take a quick listen around and just see what's happening around you. And we're back. So, I'm assuming if you're watching this on a computer, you probably listened to the fans of your computer. Maybe you were listening to the breeze outside, or in my case, the raining thunder. It's kind of bad here, but it should be okay. However, in the digital worlds, exactly in the digital worlds, unless we put something there will be absolutely nothing. And so we have to take that into consideration, because if we have a mention on the script of like an action of something like that, we will not hear it unless we place it. And that's going to be essentially our exercise for this workshop. This is going to be again weird mangle of workshop, trying to also give you some indications on like a little bit of theory. Also, again, please feel free to jump in at any time with questions. I do have the Twitch chat open here and I am seeing your messages. So, no, Lumi, please listen to. No, I'm joking. Um, and so, this will be essentially a lot of things in one because the audio design part is a lot of components working together, and we only have 1 hour and a half, so we're gonna try to be quick, or as quick as we can. Also, regarding the things that we are doing, I am going to do my best to try to only use free sounds, or to try to record some Foley live and use free plugins. However, I cannot guarantee that off the bat this will suffice. So, if we end up using paid effects or files from my audio libraries, I do have my Soundly here with possibly too many things, including one audio file of my cat purring. This is for you, chat. We might have to resort to a couple of other other sources, and so in that case, I will obviously try to let you know. I am going to tell you right now that there's gonna be at least one, at least one plugin that I use for audio for voice editing that is paid, but it is not necessary to use if you don't have the budget for it. This will be essentially since I know a lot of the people who might be seeing this are usually either amateurs or doing stuff in their free time. I also wanted to let you know that we can use just free stuff around the internet to do our projects, and that is okay. Also, the DAW that we're going to be using today is Reaper. Reaper is really cool. I really like Reaper. You could do this in essentially most other DAWs. You could technically follow along with in Audacity, for example, but it's still, at least from my experience, is a bit finicky when you start layering a lot of plugins. So it might be a little bit complicated for us to do that there. But if you want to, I'm not you wouldn't really be able to follow along in the sense that I have the recorded files. But if you wanted to do this yourself, you could either follow on Reaper or on any other DAW as well. And as a reminder, Reaper is paid, yes, but they have a free trial that for 30 days, it's okay. And then eventually you can just have a pop-up and skip it, which I totally didn't do. I don't know what you're talking about. I do have a license now. I swear you're gonna see it, but during my uni days, I may or may not have abused the the Reaper license for just a tiny bit, just a tiny little bit, and so again, I'll be using Reaper. You don't have to. If you do choose to do it and eventually get the license, it's super cheap. If you're not making a ton of money off it, it's just $60. And if you're making a ton of money off it, it's $250 if I'm not mistaken. But you can just get the 60 and it's absolutely deserved. It's fine. It's okay. Okay? I think those are all the initial disclaimers and announcements I had to do. And so, let's try to jump into it. So, to start, I obviously I have already the script, as I said. I'm assuming that you have all either read it or were present, hopefully, for the writing of this. If you're not, please always remember that you can watch the VODs and go back to it. It's okay. We will be going through this in here, so It's not super necessary for you to not have to have read it before. I mean, but it is preferable because I will be trying to go a little bit quick on a couple of things that were already discussed, just for you to have that idea. What's up, baby? No, I will be paying the cat tax later as well, in the Discord, in the chat for the con. Do not worry, I promise. I'll make good on my word, chat. Believe me. But besides having the scripts, I also have prepared all of the files that were sent to me, by our VAs and our director, and I've just put it in a little folder because I think it's also important to just talk about a little bit of organization. But I will, Jam. I swear. Uh, just essentially what I've done so far is created the Reaper project. I have a folder with our rods. Since there are not that many, I put them all in the same folder. If I had a lot of them, I might do different folders. It honestly depends a little bit on project to project how I do it. It also depends on how people get me the files on how I do it. So, always take that into consideration as well and have a little bit of leeway in your processes to have that happen. And then I have pre-selected 3 pieces of music. They're all from Scott Buckley. If you don't know, Scott Buckley is an amazing artist that has essentially all of his discography, which spans multiple years. I think over a decade at this point. And it's usually royalty free, but it is obviously attribution. So in the end, we will be crediting him for our use, as well as obviously crediting any sources of audio that we get at the end. And I do believe that is it for now. So with that, let me introduce you once again to Reaper. If you had a chance to also see our Music for Everybody workshop, you might have already know a couple of features of Reaper. My Reaper is probably looking a little bit different from what you're used to. I have this already set up in the way that it's easier for me to work with. So I usually have a floating window for our markers that you can place with the letter, with the key M. Just write whatever you need. And I have the markers here, usually also timestamped. I don't know. Yeah, whatever. It's fine. They're here. I have obviously my tracks just in the middle, and we're gonna be delving a lot into our tracks. I have my master mixer here just to keep a very good and frontal eye on our levels. And then all of the other mixer tracks will be appearing here, as well as just the item properties for the files that we place in Reaper will appear over here. So when I have a file, if I click it, a lot of information will appear here. Don't worry. Whenever I'm doing things here, I will let you know. It is going to be okay. So, also important, let me just double check where I placed it. There we go. So, as I said, we do already have some notes from our director that I asked in advance, and that's why I have this little notes section over here. Usually is where I have the notes for the project. I also really like notebooks. I have one in front of me right now. Anyways, but since you can't read the notes I'll be taking there, if I do take any, I'll just be placing them here. And what our director has told me for now is that in terms of take picking, he liked take two is the safe. Sorry, English. The safe bet for most of it. Take one was mostly just to get the actors used to it so we can disregard it. And, 2.2, takes 2 and 3 are the best ones for us to use. So we're going to be keeping that in mind going forward as well. And so, once again, to our item properties. The first thing that I usually have when I open a new project, I can do it that right now, is I always have just a pre-selected track or a pre-made track, so to speak, that has a very basic chain, but it's usually my chain for cleaning up voice recordings. Since it's the thing that I do the most, I have a template that is just quick and ready to go for whenever I open a new project. And that's what you're seeing right here. Right now it says trend announcement just because I dragged the trend announcements file here to test out a couple of things. But in this chain, essentially what I'm doing is that I'm passing it through an EQ. Usually I have it with a high pass, not super aggressive, but kinda just to remove the lower ends. And this obviously then goes and I detail what I want to pass in our recordings, just because, as a quick reminder or a quick explanation, if you're not aware, the human voice usually, unless you have a very, very like deep speaking person, around like the 50 to 100 range is where the initial tones of the voice start, and therefore anything below that will just be noise in your recording, and you don't really need it. Obviously, adjust it and set it. We're gonna see that in a second, but that's it. This EQ that I'm using is Nova by TDR, Tokyo Dawn Records, if I'm not mistaken. This is the free version as well. It's honestly the one I usually use just because it suffices to me. But they do have a paid version that unlocks a couple of extra features. If you like it, absolutely get it. It's amazing. And again, you can just have the free version to do unlimited work for yourself as well. Right after that, I have the paid plugin that I was talking to you about, which is RX. I have the 8th version. I think they're going on like the 12th or 13th version by now. I should update eventually, but and that's just to do some removal of noises from the recording. The RX8 has a couple other plugins, namely a declicker and a declipper, and those are for and a dehummer. So if you have like electricity hums or like a ground loop, the dehum might help you. If you have like weird clicks, usually also electric, like for example a faulty cable, the declick might help, but it's always a little bit finicky. And which one am I missing? The declipping. If you do get a recording back that is absolutely blown out, that is just clipped beyond whatever is possible, it usually helps repair it a little bit. However, quick reminder, like quick information, you can only repair an audio file so much. So the most important part of this part of cleanup process that's happening happens at the recording. That's why we ask VAs to, obviously as possible, having either a treated room or the good old blanket method also works. It's exactly because of this. It's trying to remove noises, trying to remove reverberances, all those things that may happen if your recording is not amazing. We can work with that. If it is absolutely mangled, we can only do so much. We can't, unfortunately for us, we're not magic. And so please always keep that in mind when working with audio people. But Right after that, I'm running a de-esser, I'm running TDesser, and this essentially helps with the sibilances. So the S sound and the sounds that usually happen in speech. I mean, apologies. This will help us trim down those a little bit, make it a little bit more palatable, especially because most people are listening to the projects that we create either via headphones or a lot of times just using their computer speakers or their phone speakers, and usually those don't have great quality on the highs, and therefore if you have a very sibilant file, essentially what's going to happen is that there's going to be a lot of what's going to be considered noise essentially in that recording. So it's always good, it's no matter what, a good idea to reduce your S sound via this, but even more so because we do know that we're gonna be like we are not aiming this for like cinemas, for example. So um, we do not know and we cannot control the listening environments that we're gonna have. And as I like to tell people, if something doesn't sound good, people will not be interested in it. And so the most we can do to help make a solid bet for it, amazing. That's essentially how it goes. And then I usually run a compressor just on. This is the TDR Kotelnikov, I believe that's how you pronounce it. I, I just, I don't know, but usually I have it kind of soft just to help out with those higher extremes of like trying to keep the dynamics a little bit more centered. Um, if you do not know what that means, I'll try to explain it a little bit more once we see it in action. But unfortunately, I'm going to be honest, I don't have a lot of time to explain compressors right now because we're almost half an hour in. And if you look at our project, we have nothing here yet. And so we're going to start on that right now. So the way I organize projects, once again, you don't have to do this, but that's the way I like to do it, is that I like to have a like a track folder essentially for our VAs. I like to have a track for no, sorry, wrong button. I have like to have a track for sound effects, and I like to have a track for our background music. In this case, we're probably just gonna have the music at the outro, and mostly to help you understand how to do that. But we're gonna have it here already. And then what I do is that I pick up this track that I already have and put it inside our VAs so that it's a little bit easier to check and to see. I'm also going to do a little bit of spaces between the tracks so that we can see it all better. And then I'm going to delete this name from now. We're going to go and check our scripts. And if you see, we have essentially, it says 3 voices, but we have 4 characters who are, well, no, not a comment. I don't, sure, Firefox, you go. We're gonna have essentially 4 speaking characters at least. So we're gonna go here and we're gonna duplicate, just copy and paste our track 3 more times, and we're gonna have Alex, we're gonna have Ember, we're gonna have the announcer, and we're gonna have Joe, our friend on the phone. I'm not sure what's our relationship with Joe at this moment, but we will start by talking with her. And so now we actually go into our files. Oh my god, and we're gonna start dragging them out. So train announcer goes into the announcer. Our Joe, I'm gonna pick both of these up and I'm gonna place it at Joe. And since we're putting multiple media, it's essentially gonna ask us, hey, how do you want to do this? yeah, Goat. I have a lot of things right now. I'm sorry. I swear this is gonna decrease in a second. It's essentially gonna ask us, how do you want to put this in our projects? Since both of these tracks are for the same character, I'm gonna say it's the sequential time position on a single track, so it stays on the same track and one right after the other. So here we go. Just gonna put that a little bit behind, and we can see it. We have the two lines here. We're gonna take Amber and Joe here, and place it to Amber and do the same thing, except, and we're gonna take all of our Alex stakes and put them here in this position. So for now, let's just quickly focus on Reaper for a second. We have all of our files here, but you can see that we have one mono file and we have the others are all stereo files. For the purposes of audio dramas and audio production in general, usually we don't need both audios of stereo, and that actually might introduce a little bit of problems later in the editing process. So what I usually do is that I select every track. I don't need to select that one. I select every stereo track, and you can see here in the item properties that I can go to channel mode and go to mono. Usually I just do mix left plus right channel, but you can just choose one as well if you think that that one or the other is less compromised. But I do this, I click apply, and there we go. We now have only mono files. Amazing. So, very quickly as well, we can identify, and I could have done this first actually, that was a little bit dumb of me. I'm going to enable ripple editing for each individual tracks for now, because as we see from the notes from our director, take one is to be avoided. So we take one out, deleted, not here anymore. And the rest take two, take three, take four. I think that is it. So Amber, same thing. Take four, take one out, and that's it. Although, let me just double check something, because I remember Hannah telling me that for her in take two, not the second time we did take two. Yeah, exactly. So she has Joe fully on take two if needed as well. I was just double checking the information that she had given me. And now we're essentially ready to start. So we can go ahead. I'm gonna go. Apologies. I'm gonna go essentially track by track really quick and try to get the best bits from each of our recordings and try to get it just everything presentable with our scripts. So what we're gonna do essentially is try to see the announcements, the announcer. If we see, it appears 3 times here, here, and here. And this one, no, 4 times. I think I misclicked one of the times. Apologies. But essentially, what we're gonna do is divide it into the 3 tracks. But first of all, I'm just gonna silence it, and 30 minutes into this workshop, we're gonna hear a sound that is not my cat purring. So if we start, we can
Oh, yeah, okay. The 5:45 train to New York City will be departing from platform 8 in 15 minutes. I repeat, the 5:45 train to New York City will be departing from platform 8 in 15 minutes.
So this is our first announcement. However, also, if we go back to the beginning, I'm just gonna quickly here in the R8, instead of having adaptive mode, since we have quite a bit of actual silence at the start, I'm just gonna use the learn function so that it captures a little bit more of the things. And there we go. So this can go away. And now we see that there's a lot of silence in the middle, and we can remove that because this,
The 5:45 train to New York City will be departing from platform 8 in 10 minutes. I repeat, the 5:45 train to New York City will be departing from platform 8 in 10 minutes.
which we know is our next announcement. No, exactly. There we go. And then we have the other one,
The 5:45 train to New York City will be departing from platform 8 in 5 minutes. I repeat, the 5:45 train to New York City will be departing from platform 8 in 5 minutes.
There we go. And we can remove the tail as well. And there we have it. The train announcer is cleaned for now. However, if you check, the announcement is not cleaned. It's actually tiny through a loudspeaker. And so once again, we're gonna have to build the world that's where things are gonna happen. If we do not do it, it does not exist. And for that, I'm gonna go ahead and quickly have add another effect to our chain that is place it. Place It is a free plugin that you can get, and essentially what it is both an EQ and a reverb plugin in the same package, essentially simplified to this interface. You can have it the sound appearing as if it was coming from different mediums. You can make it like if there's a wall in between them, and you can have the reverb part as well, on like where is the the action happening essentially. For now, we're gonna pretend this is an announcement speaker in public places. Let's try to go for an airport right now. It might be a bit too much just with the default settings, but let's see.
The 5:45 train to New York City will be departing from platform 8 in 15 minutes. I repeat, the 5:45 train to New York City will be departing from platform 8 in 15 minutes.
I think it is actually not enough, just in the sense of since we're having it go tiny through speakers, we want it to be a bit more mangled, essentially. So
The 5:45 train to New York City will be departing from platform 8 in 15 minutes. I repeat, the 5:45 train to New York City will be departing from platform 8 in 15 minutes.
I think that besides the loudspeaker, we can actually also get some distortion, not place it. Let's go. Let's go with tape from Mellow from Arturia. Actually, I'll be real honest. I do not remember if this is a paid plugin. I think it is. I think I got it from very cheap in a sale on plugin boutique, but I can't double check that right now because we do not have time. So we actually want Soundly to go last because essentially the sound effects run from the top to the bottom and go sequentially. And so here we're just gonna add a little bit of drive and drive this a little bit. We don't want the tape mechanics or wear, and let's see how it sounds now.
The 5:45 train to New York City will be departing from platform 8 in 15 minutes. I repeat, the 5:45 train to New York City will be departing from platform 8 in 15 minutes.
So I actually also added a little bit of tone just to get that vibe going. And also I'm gonna go and I didn't explain it first, sorry. But I usually also have a high pass for the EQ in the general tab because humans usually can't hear anything above 20k, and so anything that's up here, if we pitch it down, for example, could start to enter these ranges, but we don't want it. So I usually just have it there. I'm actually gonna reduce the slope a little bit, put it a little bit more towards here so that it sounds a little bit more, even more compressed, like it would be at a train station. So it sounds like this right now.
The 5:45 train to New York City will be departing from platform 8 in 15 minutes. I repeat, the 5:45 train to New York City will be departing from platform 8 in 15 minutes.
There we go. So we're gonna leave that like this for now, and we're gonna come back to it eventually when and if we need to. So that's it for now. And let's go. Let's go to Alex now. So to start, we could be doing this simultaneously with Amber and Joe, the Joe takes, but right now it's going to be a little bit quicker for me to just go through this. And essentially, what I'm going to be doing is doing a little bit of take picking as well. You know, trying to listen to it, trying to remove all of the parts that are not really necessary to exist here, and then just trying to have only the takes that we want to have over here. So let me quickly do it like this because this is too. I'm gonna create some other tabs just so we can see it more quickly, but here we go. So after the clap for synchronization.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. No, that sounds good.
And we have in the other place, in the other take.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. No, that sounds good.
Also, a very quick thing that I'm going to do is the same thing as I did on the announcer, since we have the silence parts. Have it like this. I think, at least from my ears, that this take is sounding a bit more dismissive, which we do want for now. So I'm going to take this little bit. Oh, no, this little bit here. And let's continue. So here.
Yeah, I don't have anything planned for that night.
So here.
Joe, it's fine. We're gonna. It's not important, okay? You can go ahead and invite them over. It's whatever. Damn it!
Okay. Wait, before the damn it, let's quickly check our other take. No, it is here.
Yeah, I don't. Mm-hmm.
No, sorry, it's not there. It is here, I think.
Yeah, I don't have anything planned for that night. No.
Okay, now here.
No, Yeah.
Could it be here, maybe?
No,
Yeah.
Joe, it's fine. We're gonna. It's not important, okay? You can go ahead and invite them over. It's whatever.
That was loud. Apologies for the jump scare. But I think that Alex is sounding a bit more dismissive. in this other one.
Yeah, I don't have anything planned for that night.
No, not this one, actually. On this one for the...
Yeah, I
I don't have anything.
planned.
But I liked
Joe, it's
the
fine.
whatever better
We're
from
gonna-
up here. So we're
It's
gonna do
not-
that.
It's not important, okay? You can go ahead and invite them over. It's
And so we can
whatever.
delete this for now. Essentially, no, probably here. There we go. Okay, and essentially what I would do then is bring them back to their lanes and continuing to do this. Given our time constraints, I'm going to try to to speed through this a little bit, but we can check already that no, sorry, we can check already that from here,
Joe, it's fine.
and even if we don't have these EQs for now compared to the train announcer here,
The 5:45 train to New York City will be departing from platform 8 in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't have anything planned for that night.
we can see that they don't really have the same volume. You know, they are not hitting the same levels. So a thing that I always recommend is essentially trying to match them as best as you can, to have a baseline for what's going on. If you look here on my master channel,
Yeah, I don't have anything
you can
planned
see
for that
more or
night.
less where this is hitting. What I usually do is I like to have at least the initial metering
Yeah, I don't
hitting
have anything planned for
at
that
more
night.
or less. Let me here.
Joe, it's fine. We're gonna. It's not.
Hitting at more or less here in the -6, just because it's an easy way for me to keep track and to understand where we are essentially. And so, if we take a listen now,
5 train to New York City will be departing from platform 8.
Joe, it's fine.
they are a bit closer. We will at the end obviously have to essentially remix it to make sure that everything is okay and it is going well with the sound effects as well. But just do keep that in mind that that is happening. Apologies. So we're gonna try to continue this quickly. So let me just check. Let me see where this starts actually. Just very quickly. This is the recording.
You're fine.
Okay, so this is actually only starting from the you're fine. So we're gonna disregard that for now. And here we have the
Yeah. Yeah.
no, we just have there we go. We have our Alex screams from before the damn it, essentially.
Damn it! Damn it! Damn it!
And essentially what we're gonna do is that we're gonna layer the train speeding by with the first scream and then have the damn it happening after. And let me just double check here as well because I assume
Right, yes. Okay.
no.
Yes.
I here?
Yeah.
No.
Right, yes. So
No, this is them talking still.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't No, Joe, it's fine. We're gonna
This is another take for that, so we're actually just gonna put it here and we'll focus on that later just to try to speed past this.
Okay, I'll turn down my gain. Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Yes.
Okay, And do we have more damn it?
Yeah. Damn it!
Damn it, Lumi. How dare that train pass by?
Damn it. What was? Hold on. What did I do the first? Damn it! Damn it!
Okay, so we have a lot of damn it here. We're essentially just gonna be taking because Alex is scared, so let's try to match a scared scream with a frustrated damn it as well. I like this first one for now. I also like this hill. Essentially going from here, more or less.
Damn it! Damn it!
I think I liked.
Damn it!
I do.
Damn it! Damn it!
I like this one for now. I think we can use this just to try and test out a couple of things. So. What if we do it reversed? We do this. No, it doesn't really work. So.
Damn it!
What if we take out this breath?
Damn it!
Yeah. So essentially, a lot of the dialogue editing parts will be this. Will be essentially trying to check the takes, try to check how we can fit them better together. What can we do to essentially make them sound the best it can? You know, I'm just gonna put this a little bit here. And so with take picking, you always have to have a couple of things in mind. Obviously, you know, the VAs and the directors are going to give you multiple different takes on a read, and they might even direct you exactly like, hey, try to use these ones. But if they don't, in this case, we're essentially feel free to use anything from take 2 and take 3 and 4, I believe. And so it will very much just be a thing of us trying to do our best to blend together different takes, or even if everything went well in just one take, amazing. But if not, trying to glue the pieces back so that we have essentially the most coherent as possible finished track that we can have. Let me just take a little bit sip of my tea. There we go. So, an important thing to take into consideration as well, especially for you know, if you are the one working with the files, is that, as you can see, like a lot of these recordings, like we have 2 recordings that go like about the 40-ish mark. I will not be able to clean this up like everything during the stream. So you'll just have to take my word for it that what I'll be doing offline is what I'm doing here online. But essentially, the process is that. Also, what I like to do after the first initial cleanup, and we're gonna just use it this part of Alex being really dismissive of Joe, and you know, possibly she deserves it, possibly not. We'll leave that up to your interpretation, I think. We're gonna be
Joe,
dialing
it's fine.
a little bit of
We're gonna.
the.
It's not.
Gonna be doing.
It's not important, okay?
Another.
You can go ahead and invite
Nova
them over.
here.
It's whatever.
Put it.
Damn it!
After the cleanup, because again, this EQ is essentially for just basic cleanup, and this EQ that I'm putting here is to actually dial in the tones that we want. Okay, that's essentially what I want you to think about. And so for this one, if we listen to it again,
Joe, it's fine.
and we can
We're
activate the
gonna.
visualization as well.
It's not important, okay? You can go ahead and invite them over.
You can hear that in this case Lumi set up the one that is not their normal one. I know, Lumi. Don't worry. Just to make sure people, if anybody wants to talk with them and hire them, it's their usually setup usually sounds better, as they've said. But this one, and it's good for us, actually is a little bit echoey, and it's a little bit echoey, more specific in the higher tones. So like in this region over here is where we're getting most of the reverb if you listen to it.
Joe, it's fine. It's not.
And so in this case, we're gonna try to tone down a little bit of these high frequencies. Let's see if this helps.
Joe, it's fine. It's not important, okay? You can go ahead and invite them over. It's whatever. Damn it!
I think to take into consideration, though, is that if we start to squash them too much, it will degrade the sound. So it will.
Joe, it's fine. It's not important, okay? You can go ahead and invite them over.
And so we're just gonna do a little bit here, and
Joe, it's fine.
try to take out a little bit of the.
It's not important, okay? You can go ahead and invite them over.
Here
it's
as well.
Whatever.
Okay. And also,
Joe, it's fine.
you see the it's fine. We're gonna try to here maybe.
Joe, it's fine.
That we hear, we're gonna try to put it a little
Joe,
bit.
it's fine.
Yeah. And so we have it there. And this is essentially most of what I'll be doing for these normal speaking roles. And once again, for the announcement and eventually for Joe, I'm also going to have to do that as well. We're just going to have added layers of processing, essentially, to make them sound more in world, to try to worldalize them, essentially. Apologies. And then what we're going to be doing, once again, is trying to get what we consider the best takes and try to glue them together into something that's a little bit more that's easier to present to our audience. That's something that makes a little bit more sense. I'm gonna mute this track for now so that it makes more sense. And so for Amber, we will essentially make the same things. Again, we have this is all. Yeah, there we go. For Amber, everything is here. So what we would do, same thing here. Let's just check where the recording starts. I think it might be here.
This is a trick.
No, here? No, was it at the very start? Yeah, there we go. So we have the click for the starting. Oh, apologies, I bumped mic. For starting the recording there as well. And where does Amber, ow. We have the ow. And I believe it might be this.
Ow.
Yeah, there we go. One ow version. It's right here.
Ow. I am so sorry. I did not mean to.
We're gonna separate them for now because it is a very big file. And just to make sure that we can find it a little bit more easily. So,
Yep.
no, this is them getting directions.
Triple ows. Ow. Ow. Ow.
There we go. So our triple ows go next to our ows, and that way we will more easily essentially check for which ow is the best ow of them all.
Ow. 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 Ow.
So again, it's essentially they're bumping into somebody. and they're going like, ooh, ow.
Ow! 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 Ow!
I honestly quite like this one, so I'm gonna leave it here for now. And I'm so sorry, I believe it's also here.
I'm so sorry. I did not mean to. I am so sorry. I did not mean to. I am so sorry. I did not mean to.
You know, when they first crash into each other, Amber doesn't really recognize Alex, so they're being a little bit dismissive and trying to sort of be like, "Oh, I'm just gonna move on from this interaction," before understanding that it is actually the person that they're looking for. And so in this case, I'm going to, for now at least, go with this one, just so that we have a little bit of variety. And
This is a train!
yeah, and the very infamous the line that we had from Alex saying that this is a train, not station. I don't know where station is, just train. So
This is a train!
this is indeed a train, Lumi. Let me just check. No, they're getting directions
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
And
Collision. So from Pain Sound?
so
I am so sorry.
there we go. They are very sorry. Amber is so sorry.
I am so sorry. I did not mean to. I am so sorry. I did not mean to.
I actually like this take better, so we're gonna keep it for now. And
Oh! Oh, it is you.
for now, let's have it here.
Thank the heavens I found you.
And let's have it here as well.
Has it found you yet?
Let's just separate these tracks.
I am
These files for now, I mean.
I am Ember. Are you in danger?
Just so that we can have a little bit of an example of what comes next, at least for now. So, to do that, I actually need to come back to Alex here, because for their interaction, so Alex is what the hell. This is what I'm looking for right now for our examples. Obviously, if I was doing apologies everything right now, I would be going a little bit more in order, but just to move a little bit of things along, because we haven't gone into the sound effects yet. So no, these are them taking directions.
Yeah.
No. Okay, I think the rest of the file might just be directions, which in this case is actually nice. That might actually mean that we can...
Damn it!
Because is this the rest?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's directions. Okay, it's more gasps for now. Actually, for now, I'll put them here. So
You're fine. It's not here. Not yet.
again,
You're fine.
this part over here, we can just skip it for now, but have it there.
Ow!
There we go. They
Oh,
overlap
wait,
with
hold
each
on,
other.
that's you. I would also say ow, probably, but
Yeah, again, this is a very good point to take into consideration, is that and thank you, past Lumi, for telling us this, is that when two people choke, they probably both will say something. And so for right now, just because I don't know what happens after, I'm gonna have this out here, because sometimes, even if things are not in the script, we in the editing phase and in the post-processing phase might think that actually this should come here, this makes sense. And so, if your actors give you something like breaths or shouts like ow and pain sounds and stuff like that, keep them if you find them necessary. Otherwise, or if the director says, no, these are not to keep, throw them out. Obviously, throw them out as well. But
Probably. Hey, you gotta watch where you're going.
there we go. That's the part that we were looking for.
Hey, you gotta watch where you're going. This is a. Hold on. Can we do this one more time? Because I was taken out of.
We can do it again. Yes.
What the hell?
What? No, apologies.
Hey, you've got to watch where you're going. This is a train.
This is a train. Hell yeah.
A train. This is.
Okay, so we are gonna ignore all of this for now because I'm gonna move them up here just so that you can see, and I'm actually gonna put both of them here right now. Yes, just this is a train. It will be our new call. So we have Amber's owl over here, and we have Alex's owl here. No, this is still the damn it. This is still the phone call. Is it here?
Ow!
There we go. And so, if they both crash, we could have that.
Ow!
You know, it's here. They are both crashing into each other. Sound of pain. Ow. So,
Ow!
and we're gonna advance some a little bit of work, and we're gonna add a marker here of where is it? No, I want to. There we go. Amber is going the wrong way against people coming off the train platform and runs onto Alex, trips and falls into them. So they have a collision. So we're just gonna call Alex and Amber collision. I'm not sure that's how you spell it. I hope it is. If it isn't, yes, it is. And then once again, we're gonna be essentially overlapping the lines here a little bit. So they're gonna be talking back between the two of them, back and forth. I mean, always remember a very good exercise for these types of parts is listening on how people talk in real life. You know what happens a lot of times. What I see happening at least a lot of times in people starting out. A thing that they do is that they would go the pain house and then the what the hell, full stop. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to. Full stop. Hey, you gotta watch where you're going. So it would sound something a little bit like these, I believe.
Hey, you gotta watch where you're going. This is a.
I'm so sorry. I did not mean to.
Hold on.
Right. No, well, hold on. It's here.
Can we do?
No, this one is to ignore. Apologies. Is it? No, I have the sync lock. Sorry. There we go.
You've gotta watch where you're going. This is a train station. What the hell?
Here. Is it possibly here?
I'm not in danger.
No, this is too far ahead. I want to do sorry over there as well.
Yeah.
No.
What are you talking? I don't. Sorry?
There we go. It's the. Here we go. So, essentially, no, here. Here we go. What we'll have is
Watch
like
where you're going. This is a.
I'm so sorry. I did not mean to.
Apologies, I have this here as well, and the announcement.
Watch where you're going. This is a.
I'm so sorry. I did not mean to.
You know, this is not what's happening. If we listen to people talking, what's actually happening is something closer to this.
Hey, you gotta watch where you're going.
I'm
This is
so
a
sorry.
No,
I did.
that was a little bit too much. Sorry.
this is a
I'm so sorry. I did not.
this is a
I'm so sorry. I did not mean to.
You know, people talk over each other, and that is okay. You need to have, it's okay for you to overlap people talking in these mediums because that's how people talk. And so, essentially, what we'll be doing here is taking our take picking, apologies, and overlapping them a little bit so that it makes people, it seems a little bit more fluid. Exactly. You make people talk and not wait for the other people to talk. Exactly. We want this to be a representation of a reality. We want this to it's not necessarily going to be real. This is obviously a fantasy script, it's a fantasy episode. However, it needs to be realistic. It has to be to hold some truth behind it. And people are messy when they talk. Usually they stumble over each other, they interrupt each other, and that is okay. And you don't have to have a hard cut to make that happen. Okay? So we're gonna actually leave this for now because time is slipping from us. And actually, I'm realizing that I'm missing something. I'm missing a track for ambiances. There we go. Because what we're gonna do now is very quickly, as fast as we can, essentially, try to get one ambience for uh, what we're going to be doing in this first half of the script, and we're gonna get some sound effects also for this part of the script that we're working on. And so here comes essentially the next part of this. And for this, we're gonna try and have, there we go. That's exactly it. Free sound. We're gonna come to free sound just so that it's a little bit easier for us to find things. There's multiple other resources. Again, if you work on this for long enough, you're gonna have uh, probably a lot of files for yourself. Also, I heavily recommend checking out the GDC free sound libraries that are released by Sonis every year, because they have a lot of things that you can get for free for your projects. And so for now, free sound, let's go. We are actually not gonna start by searching train. We're gonna search for train station. Let's start with the ambulances first. Because. Oh, Lisboa, Carta Oriente, let's go! I I can get you a link after this if that's okay for the the Sony's packs, just because it might take me a little bit to check, if you don't mind. But let's check this interior train station from Lisboa Gare do Oriente. It comes from Portugal and everything. So let's try. Let's try to see what we have. I think that for our needs, this is amazing. This is exactly what we need. We need people chattering, from. Where is the thing? Shutter. Like, there's a crowd, there's obviously a train station. Exactly. It's a direct train from New York to Portugal, Lovey. Everybody knows the transcontinental thing from Europe to America. And so, essentially, what we're going to do is download the sound. wait for a little bit to download. We're gonna get it from, let me put it here so it's a little bit easier for me, and create another folder here called SFX on our project. And there we go. So now here on ambience, we're gonna put it here, call it train station, and just bloop. There we go. This is gonna be essentially our main ambience for the first part of the script. And so I'm actually gonna mute everything from the VS right now. What we have is this quick problem. If we have this while we also have people talking,
Them over. It's whatever.
it's a little bit distracting.
Damn it!
So what do you want to do, actually? And I'm actually just gonna have them both talking from
I'm
their
not in
text here.
danger. I'm not.
What you want to do
Look, I'm just trying to
is
get back to
try to
NYU
blend
before
this
finals start.
ambience. I'm gonna stop for your ease of hearing me. Blend this ambience a little bit into the world. Again, what we have here is essentially just a flat out recording of somebody who was at Carlos Oriente. And we want this to be, no, this is not just a recording, this is actually happening. And so for that, first of all, for clarity's sake, we're gonna put it a little bit lower because we want to hear more the voice and less the ambience, unless specifically specified, obviously. Remember that most of these rules, quote unquote rules, they don't have to be like this, it can be broken. And so
I'm just trying to get back to NYU before finals start. I already had to reschedule my train twice. I don't have time
There
for
we
whatever
go.
mistake you're making.
maybe here.
I've got
And also, just for a little bit of extra sauce, we're gonna go again to place it. We are gonna disable the speaker viewing. We're gonna go again to the airport and not make it as much because the original recording itself already has some reverb. And so if we add reverb on top of reverb, it's just gonna go crazy. But if we had a little bit like this,
I'm just trying to get back to NYU before finals start. I already had to reschedule my train twice. I don't have time
it's
for
gonna help it
whatever
make
mistake you're
feel a little bit closer to what it's actually happening because we are using essentially the same space for both things. Okay? And so, since time is very quickly running out, free sound again, and we're gonna go with the fluorescent lights because we can see here that no, it's a little bit above. When Alex gets scared, we hear a buzzing sound, a little bit of rattling of glass as the fluorescents above their head nearly shatter and give out. Let's try to essentially build this really quickly. So in Reaper, this will be light rattling, and there we go. Let's go first fluorescent light. No, is that not how you write fluorescent? Let's just go light. Whoops. Light planes. Yeah, but that's not gonna. How do you write fluorescent? I'm having fluorescent. Yes, I know English. That I knew it in Portuguese. But close. God damn it. So fluorescent lights. There we go. And we have this here. But you can hear that you're not actually getting anything from the lamp itself. And we're also getting a lot of background noise that we do not want. So let's try this one. Much better. Much, much better. Let's open this for now. And also, it could be useful, but actually this might actually be useful for a little bit later in the episode when we have the scene where they're hiding from the monster. So we're gonna keep it here, but we're not gonna use it right now. So, and once again, confirming the theory that if you have something that is not in English, you found a gem, or you're gonna download the sound. I love your free sound, but not right now. We're in the middle of something. We'll talk later. Sorry. And put it here. And put it here. No, put it here. There we go. And here you have it. Of in context.
Joe, it's fine. We're gonna. It's not.
Except this right now, it's not a light rattling. It's just a light. So what we're actually gonna do, and I usually do this on child tracks, is that we're gonna layer this. And we're gonna layer this with some glass rattle. Let's see what we get. Not quite what I'm looking for. This is a bit too clinky. Not quite. These ice cubes sound nice. Let's try this one. Oh, there we go. Let's try doing this. There we go. So once again, here I'm gonna go over our sound effects and drop it into Reaper. And what we want, we saw from the lines, it's this here. And let's try to see now. Let's try to see if they have a little bit more that we can use actually. Maybe like this. I'm afraid this might be a bit too harsh. So like this here, maybe. Now that's closer. And so what we would do, essentially, I'm gonna try to first match their lengths more or less, just so that we have a bit of a same start. And now we could layer some effects on top of this. We can also change a little bit of their volumes to make more sense. But what if we had clear filter, a little bit of distortion? I'm going to use the tape mellow again. Again, no noise, no mechanics. Let's add a bit of drive and a bit of wear to this and check again. Let's see it here. I don't like the tone. There we go. And we have something a little bit different as well. And, you know, we would essentially be creating the sound effects and placing them where they should be and trying to get it to, you know, go through the entire script, mark where they are, make them, and try to accomplish that. Very, very quickly, because once again, our time is running out. I'm essentially just going to show you what to do in the end. I'm going to drag this folder here for the music for your outro, because that is a thing that, let me actually reorganize this just so I can see everything in context. There we go. If we go here.
Who's the train announcer? I need to.
No.
This episode was
There we
written
go.
by.
We have our credits here.
This episode was written by Emma Skinner with script editing by Anna Stein. It was directed by Derek Valen. With that, Valen, sorry. I know.
No. Here?
This episode.
There we go. Let's say we had it here and that we had our outro music also playing at the same time.
This episode was written by Emma Skinner with script editing by Anna Stein. It was directed by Derek
This
Valen. with
doesn't
dialogue
super
editing
work,
and-
especially
This
when
episode was
we
written
start
by
to
Emma
get
Skinner
into
with
these
script
louder
editing
parts.
by Anna Stein. It was directed by Derek Valen with dialogue
Because the music completely muffles the sound of our songs. So, what I recommend you doing is having essentially ascend from this track to our music tracks and make it auxiliary. So have it go to channels 3 and 4. Okay? So essentially what we're going to be doing is that this track is now going to this track, which means that our voiceovers are going into these music tracks. I'm gonna make it a little bit lower, just anyways. And in our main music folder, we're gonna add Ria Comp. No, I'm not searching the right plans. We're gonna Ria Comp. There we go. This is once again just a free compressor, but the thing that easily allows us to do is that if we choose here director input, we choose auxiliary,
by Derek Valen.
and
with
now
dialogue editing.
we can choose,
This episode was written by
Here.
Emma Skinner with script
and you can see that the voice, the vocal audio is what's controlling now our compression. This is called sidechain compression. You can do this with other things. And if we do this,
by Derek Valen with dialogue editing and this episode was written by Emma Skinner with script editing by Anna Stein. It was
you can see that the voice is a little bit quiet. We would need to put it a bit louder in general, but it's cutting through much more. This is how you get your credits to actually feel a bit more fulfilled, because what's going to happen is that every time that we have sound here in the vocals, it's going to be ducking the audio from our music, which means that the voice cuts through much more. And that is how you would edit your credits. And then once the credits end, you can leave the track playing for a little bit longer, maybe fade it out, all those things, but it will not be affected by the vocal anymore. Again, this has been quite a lot of things, a lot of moving parts that are that we need to consider when doing this. Obviously, we have not edited that much, and once again, I'm going to be continuing using the plugins and the techniques that I've shown here to essentially finish this episode as we continue. But unfortunately, we are running out of time. And so I will very quickly open the space for if you have any questions that may arise here in this moment. I'll obviously give you a little bit of time for the delays to kick in so that you can hear me. But if you have any other questions regarding any of the things that were shown here, any of the techniques, any of the plugins, I will remember to send both a picture of my cat and the links for the GDC sound packs for you to check out. So please be aware to check out for those in the convention chat as well. So please do not forget to check out the Discord and our chat, the PVC's Discord, for all of those things, and also just for talking with all of the other participants and everybody else going on the con. Also, please remember to check out our artist alley. There are some amazing works. I've been essentially trying to lurk here and there in the time that I've been having. It's amazing to be there. Please do keep that into consideration. And again, I'll be continuing work on this episode so that we will actually have it ready to be played at the closing ceremony. So also keep your eyes looking out for that. I know how to English. Yes. Again, please do come to the closing ceremony to hear the finished product of all of these lovely people. It'll be a lot of fun. I think it'll be very nice to have seen the entire process or parts of it. Obviously, once again, sound editing takes a little bit of time, and it's not possible to do it in this half an hour, hour and a half completely. But we will pass it there, so feel free to go there. And besides that, please also stay tuned for everything else that's going on next in AuFiCon. Namely, the next panel will be Swords, Sorcery, and Sound Fantasy Audio Fiction. It'll be very nice to hear some people discussing how do they do this, especially coming from this episode being like essentially a little bit of low fantasy, a bit of real world mixing with fantastic elements, and trying to get some perspectives on how do you implement fantasy into your podcast and how can you do those worlds. So yeah, I'm not seeing any questions in chat. So once again, please feel absolutely free to ping me, to make any questions, either now during the con or eventually if you find this on our VODs. Remember that you can follow not only the entire journey of podcast on air, but also all of the other events that are happening, and feel free to reach out. So again, adding a little bit of buffer time just in case it's needed for the delays to kick in if anybody has any other questions. But if not, I will leave you all with a little bit of spare time. Oh, no, we do have a question. Never mind. Did you... I am going to answer because it's a very funny question. Did you become cool after becoming a sound designer, or was it vice versa? I think, honestly, I became cool after becoming a sound designer, just because to become a sound designer, once again, you have to have the experience of listening to sounds. You need references. You need both real world references and also just designed references. And so I think that after starting this journey of becoming a sound designer, I have become cooler on the sole reason that I've started actually listening to audio dramas. And that is really freaking cool.